Christine here, and we are back in the kitchen for our summer salad series, and we're really excited to offer you 4 fabulous salads that you can take with you to barbecues, to campouts, to keep in the kitchen for your lunches, and all of them are going to have great macronutrients, so good amounts of protein, healthy complex carb, and healthy fat. That is our go-to recipes for this month of June. All right. So this first recipe is called the Wonder Woman Quinoa Summer Salad. I kind of named it myself because I just saw Wonder Woman on the weekend, and it was so amazing. I just loved it. I loved every minute. She was strong and sexy and powerful, and she probably got that way by eating this salad because there's spinach and quinoa and tomatoes, asparagus, all that good stuff that's in here. That's going to make you strong and healthy. So I'd love for you to give it a try, and we are just going to get started right now. So in my bowl, I have 2 cups of cooked quinoa. So I just did basically 1 cup of dry with 2 cups of stock. Now I use stock just to add some flavor, but you could also use water if you want. That's not a problem there. Okay, so to that, I'm going to add 2 cups of cherry tomatoes, and I'm just going to throw that whole container right in there. These ones are pretty tiny, like look how little that is. So if they're a bit bigger, you could cut them in half if you like, that's no problem. I'm going to add 2 cups of spinach. And how do you measure spinach? I go like this, kind of like 1 cup and 2 cups. Good, just kind of eyeball it, that's all good. You could give that a rough chop, I suppose, if you want, but once the dressing gets on that, those kind of shrivel down. So I'm just going to give that a little mix here. So quinoa, tomatoes, spinach, maybe a bigger bowl would have been in order, goodness me. Okay, roasted asparagus. So this is a little veg here. I have already roasted these up, but I just did it with a little salt and pepper and a little olive oil. So there's my roasted asparagus. Now, of course, you could do zucchini or peppers. Also, what else would be good in here? You know what you could roast too is some corn on the cob and then just cut that off. That would be really good in here. I should have thought of that. That would be delicious. So just a rough chop on that asparagus. You don't want it too small because you want people to actually know what they're biting into. Again, just a little olive oil, salt and pepper. I did that in the oven at 400 for probably about 10-12 minutes, just so they were broiled nicely. All right, so there's that. Into that, we're also going to put just a handful of toasted almonds. So we are going to put some other nuts into our dressing. So I'm not going to go too crazy on the nuts there, but I will add that little amount. And now we're also going to add some fresh mozzarella. Love the mozzarella. This is so nice in that caprese salad. And of course, we've got tomatoes in here. So these little balls go quite well with that. Now these ones are a bit bigger, these bocconcini. So I know you can buy the ones at Costco that are the smaller ones. I'm just going to quarter these up because I just want it to go a little farther. And once we get to the dressing, you will see that it's actually a little bit high in fat. So we don't need to add a whole lot of extra fat in this recipe because we're going to get a lot of flavor already from our dressing. But pretty simple here. We're just chopping up. I probably do maybe 6 of these bocconcinis, and that should give me 24 pieces because I'm cutting them in 4. See how that math worked there? Pretty smart. All right. So that's our base. You know what? I'm getting a bigger bowl because how am I going to mix everything and really get it in there? Just in this second here. Okay. That's good. So dump that in there and that will make it a lot easier, and then we can put it back in there for serving. All right. Good. So in our bowl again, we have basically your quinoa, we've got cherry tomatoes, grilled asparagus, some spinach, bocconcini, almonds, and that is going to be our base. Already this looks really good. You know, that color. You could also use that tri-colored quinoa here because that would add another dimension of color. But it's nice to, when you're eating your foods, to look at eating the rainbow, right? So make it colorful. Make it nice and bright, and tendencies of your kids and or husband or yourself to go towards it are going to be greater because it looks appetizing. It looks so good. All right, now onto our Wonder Woman dressing. So I'm just going to take in my Ninja here. I'm going to add all my ingredients and then I'll just buzz it, and then we're going to add about 2/3 of a cup of the dressing to our salad. So first of all, in there goes 1 avocado. So be careful when slicing your avocado. My girlfriend, I'll show you what she did in a second. So slice around, give it a twist. When she was taking out that stone, she went like that, knife missed, cut her hand, severed her nerve, fingers like this, had to have surgery, like it was all not good. So you could even just to avoid that, do it there, and then give it a little twist turn. No, a little harder. There we go. Okay, and that just comes out. Pop. Oh, slippery little critters. All right, so into our container goes 1 full avocado. All right, so a lot of healthy fat in this one here. Like I said, we're gonna be doing some nuts. We have olive oil and avocado, so a little will go a long way. And you know, having those healthy fats like that really does make you feel satiated, hey? Like when you have a handful of nuts, if you're feeling quite hungry, or if you have that olive oil in your salad, it actually helps to satiate our bodies. And of course, olive oil being heart healthy, big on that Mediterranean diet these days. So I definitely recommend using that. Although you could of course use grapeseed oil if you wanted to as well. That's also a nice one here. All right, so 1 full avocado. I'm gonna take a 1/2 cup of cilantro, a 1/2 cup of parsley. So we'll just chop that up. And while I'm chopping, I want to talk to you about the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. Have you heard of them? So we're going to do 1/2 cup of each, parsley and cilantro. So the Dirty Dozen are basically fruits and vegetables that have a higher amount of pesticide leach into them when they're sprayed with pesticides. Okay, these ones you should be buying organic as often as you can, just because, again, they're sprayed, and because the skin is so thin on them, the pesticides can leach into them. So tomatoes we used today there, those are on the Dirty Dozen. And of course, so I use organic tomatoes there I got. But also on the Dirty Dozen are spinach. So buy the pre-wash. When you buy it without it being in a bag, make sure that you get a good wash on that. Nectarines, apples, peaches, pears, cherries, grapes, celery, tomato, bell pepper, and potatoes. So those ones are all considered the Dirty Dozen. Now, there's also the Clean 15. So these ones you can be a little safer on. Maybe you don't necessarily have to buy organic. But most of them have a coating, like a jacket, that you just take off, and that's kind of where the pesticide stays anyway. You probably know some of these, but I'll list them anyways. The Clean 15. You've got corn, avocado, pineapple, cabbage, onion, frozen sweet peas, because they're in that shell, papayas, asparagus, mango, eggplant, honeydew melon, cantaloupe, kiwi, cauliflower, and grapefruit. So, interesting, hey? Anyway, so when you're at the supermarket, and if you can buy the Dirty Dozen in the organic, you're going to avoid getting all of that pesticides. And then, secondly, if you can't afford the organic, because I know it's expensive at times, just make sure you give them a really good rinse. Put them in your sink, fill your sink up. I've heard people putting vinegar in there just to kill off any of that. And just giving them a good wash. Now, what am I doing here? Do you see this little container of cilantro? My older sister showed me this trick. Just fill a little container with water, put the stems in, and then she wraps it with a little saran wrap just on top like that. Just to, I guess, keep some of the flavors in the fridge from leaching on there. And it lasts so much longer. This has been in here a week already, and it's fresh as a daisy, I tell you. All right, so we have 1/2 cup of cilantro, 1/2 cup of parsley, and 1 avocado so far. All right, so put that over there. Also in this dressing, we are going to do the juice of a lime. Got a really great squeezer here I'm going to use tonight, and it is there. Cilantro and lime always go really nicely together, don't they? And I just love how lime makes everything taste very fresh and summery. Kind of brightens all the flavors of your food quite nicely. So this recipe doesn't actually call for a protein in terms of like meat or tofu or anything like that, but you can certainly add that. You are getting a bit of protein with your quinoa. And if you're vegetarian, you could also add black beans to this to up the ante of your protein. But I am grilling some chicken on the barbecue tonight, and that's going to be my side, and this is going to be our meal. We're going to have this wonderful Wonder Woman quinoa salad and grilled chicken. Okay, just so you know, I hear my husband's motorbike in the garage, so he will be coming in. The dog will be barking shortly. So be forewarned, that's coming, okay? All right, into our salad dressing also is going to go 2 cloves of garlic. So that is going to add a good amount of flavor. I'm just going to give it a rough chop because my Ninja blender is going to blend that all up, hopefully. No one gets a big chunk of garlic. Okay, just smash that down. I guess you can't really see with that there, can you? Leave that there. And just a little rough chop through your garlic. And right into there. All right, also to this we are adding, let's see. So the juice of a lime, we're going to add 1/2 cup of water. That will help thin out, there's the dog, there's the husband. That will help thin out the olive oil a little bit. We're also doing 1/2 cup of olive oil. So we have that, just 1/2 cup. Hi, husband. Okay, 1/2 cup of olive oil. And then also what's going to go in here is some nuts. So you can use anything that you choose. You could use walnuts, almonds, pistachios are really nice in this dressing. I'm using walnuts today because that's what I have, and you're going to add just 1/2 cup of those in there. Okay, making sure we have everything. We have avocado, parsley, cilantro, garlic, lime juice, some water, olive oil, and a little salt here as well. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt just to make sure that has a good amount of flavor. So I'll just eyeball that, pop that in there. And I like a little bit of heat, so you could add a diced jalapeno pepper here if you'd like. I'm just going to add a little bit of my sambal oelek, maybe 1 teaspoon. So this is just like a chili paste. It's really delicious. All right, a little bit of garlic there. So that's it for your dressing. I'm going to go back to the Ninja bullet. We're going to blend it up, then we're going to mix it together, and you are done your salad for the night. All right, blender lid. If it goes on, that's ideal. There we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, and our goddess dressing is done. So nice and thick. Oh man, that smells so good. I'm going to give it a little taste just to make sure the seasoning is good for that. Holy, that's delicious. I'll definitely be eating that all summer. Okay, so just adding about 2/3 of a cup, 1/2 cup, wherever you, however much you like. And depending on how much quinoa you have there as well. Okay, so that's probably 2/3 of a cup. Set that there. And just give it a stir around. That looks really good. All those colors are so pretty. And I think if you brought this to barbecue, anyone would really enjoy it. Because it's got some great flavors. And then, I mean, you have spinach in this salad. It may not last a full 4 or 5 days in the fridge, but it should last at least a few days so that you could have this also for lunch the next day. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, we are about to plate. I'm going to give this a taste and see how it is. It looks really good. So, in my little side bowl, just to show you, I will plate it in this. But like I said, we're going to barbecue some chicken and have that with this on the side. Wow, that looks good. Get some of those mozzarella balls there. All right. Well, that's it. Asparagus, quinoa, spinach, mozzarella, tomatoes, all that goodness in there in my Wonder Woman quinoa summer salad. I hope you make it. Take a moment to make this and comment below any other salads that you might like to see. Actually, I have one spot that's an opening in our summer salad series, so if there's something that you would like to see or an idea, maybe a vegetarian, maybe an ethnic salad of some sort, please let me know in the comments below. All right, thanks for tuning in. Go watch Wonder Woman if you haven't, and then make this Wonder Woman quinoa salad. All right, as always, move daily.